Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have an interesting story coming out from Wizards of the Coast, and this one's interesting because it's as old as time, man. I'm telling you, they're talking about the red box cover art, which I believe came out in the 1980s. This particular cover art that has remained ambiguous for many decades. Well, to be honest, not really, because the artist came out and said that it was a man, but I digress. The entire thing is now becoming a topic of conversation, and the reason why is because apparently Wizards of the Coast is coming out and trying to say that this character is now canonically a woman.
It's a man, baby! Yeah! Yeah! Come on! Why won't this wig come off?
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, as something that was so expected and so obvious to be coming out, we knew that Wizards of the Coast was going to do something like this with something as old as this. It's only a matter of time. This company is trying to retcon as many different things as they possibly can from their IP to try to make it something for modern day audiences. You know, that same modern audience that doesn't seem to exist. That's what they're making it for. So let's get into this article, guys, from Bounding Into Comics. But of course, before we do, if you are new here, just consider hitting that subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it, and like the video to push this out into that YouTube algorithm. So it says Wizards of the Coast purposefully and clearly gender swaps warrior featured on Dungeons and Dragons red box cover art. Now, if you look at this picture here, this is the original 1983. Okay, that's the date. I knew it was the 80s, but I didn't know the exact number. 1983 for this red box art. If you look at this character, it is very clear as day that this is a man character, okay? There are males out there, especially in the fantasy setting, that have long hair, so you can't use the hair as any kind of feature or whatever to showcase it's a woman. It was a man. It was always meant to be a man, but the reason why it's faceless is because Dungeons and Dragons as an IP is an IP that you're supposed to enjoy from any perspective, right? You can make whatever character you want. It's something that you can make your own stories, make your own adventures. So that's why they were trying to portray something like this, right? It doesn't really matter whether it's a man or a woman. All that matters is that you can create your own character and have a great time. But canonically, it has always been a man. The artist himself said it was a man, and we're going to get into it later in the video. It says, in making yet another revision to the long-established lore of the popular tabletop RPG system, Wizards of the Coast has officially revealed that despite appearances, the warrior featured on the cover to the 1983 Dungeons & Dragons red box set is not a man, but actually a woman. One of the most iconic images in the entirety of the franchise, the red box artwork made its debut in 1983. Its epic scene adorning the front of the game's third edition release. Painted by noted fantasy artist Larry Elmore, the cover art depicts a faceless warrior seen from behind with a blade in hand and a horned helm adorning his head, lunging into battle against a roaring crimson dragon. All in all, the perfect piece to quickly and effectively communicate the game's identity to any potential customer who sees it on the shelf. Now, again, this is a more updated version of this picture, and even in the updated version of this picture, it is very obviously a man. You could tell by the definition from the character that this is a male character. There is no denying it. I mean, there is no woman out there that has this physique without taking massive amounts of steroids and without doing a massive amount of weightlifting. And even so, they can't come anywhere close to a physique like this normally. You might have a 1% of a 1% of a 1%, but even then, still, this is very clearly to be a male. But let's see what they say. Given the rippling stock in physique for the last 40 years, an assumption has been persisted among D&D players that the battle-locked warrior was a man. Not that it really mattered, as it was a single image used in promotion of a game, which required players to create their own characters. Now, again, that's what I said earlier in the video. This game, Dungeons and Dragons, we're not arguing over the fact that, oh, it's a man. That means that all the characters need to be men and women are not welcome. That's not what this is. D&D has always been open-ended. D&D has always been something where you create your own character, create your own adventure. That's what it's for. But when you make a character and you make an artwork, that character and that artwork is supposed to be something. And the artist has said that it is a man. That is no doubt a man. And Wizards of the Coast is interpreting it their own way. But ultimately, the artist has always meant for it to be a male. However, never one to let an opportunity to virtue signal past them. Rather than allowing this innocent assumption to continue on, Wizards of the Coast has recently confirmed that as far as they're now concerned, the warrior in question is now canonically a woman. Now, look at this picture right here. You tell me what this looks like, okay? This is the miniature that they made. They made 70 new miniatures. 10 of them are the secret stash kind of things. I don't really know what secret chase, figures. They're set to be released soon, and this is one of them. Look at this character. This is the Redbox art character, and it's very clearly a male physique from top to bottom. The only difference is that they put boobs on it. That's what they did on the miniature. That's what their idea of a woman is. This is clearly meant to be for the modern audience, right? Like, all they did was take the physique of a male and put boobs on it and call it a day. And they consider themselves now to be stunning and brave because they gender swapped the character to be a female. I don't know of any female that looks like this in real life. I've seen women look like this in tournaments, and even the tournament women that bodybuild don't even come close to this kind of, I mean, look at this. This is very clearly a male from top to bottom. But again, it is what it is, right? Now, they said that, however, in a move that the publisher themselves admitted to comicbook.com was done purposefully and clearly, again, very clear words, rather than a man, the miniature very clearly depicts the warrior as a woman. Now, I wouldn't say very clearly, because if you were to flatten the chest, this would be a male character. But again, this is where I'm at. Now, here's the best part about all of this, ladies and gentlemen, and this is the part that really destroys the entire narrative from Wizards of the Coast, because they try to gaslight you just like Warhammer tries to gaslight its fans, right? They'll try to tell you, oh, it was always this way. They'll take something that was kind of sort of, ambiguous or anonymous, and they'll take it and try to radicalize it with some form of new modern day identity politics. But it says, notably following this gender reveal, Elmore himself took to his personal Facebook to clarify that while Wizards of the Coast were free to interpret the warrior as a member of the fairer sex, he had in reality always considered them to be male. Now let's read what he actually posted on Facebook so you can see the destruction happen in real time. He says, I recently was asked a question about the ancient red painting I did for the cover of Redbox Edition. Did you paint a male or female? He said, it's a man. Gary didn't know what he wanted. All he wanted was something simple that would jump out at you. He wanted a male warrior. If it was a woman, you would know it, for I'm pretty famous for painting women. For this specific painting, while I hide the face of the warrior so it's anonymous, it was painted as a man. You can interpret it however you want, for that is the magic of art, but I am answering a question that was asked without context. Now, he had to add a little disclaimer on the bottom, because what do you think is going to happen when you make a statement like this? You're going to get all the wokies come out and try to pretend as if he's saying women are not allowed in D&D. It's such a stupid thing. So he made a statement here saying, just to be clear, the thing that I love about D&D was that anyone can be anything in this game. Male, female, both, neither. It does not discriminate. It's a game of imagination, and you can be and do whatever you want. Now, again, guys, straight from the artist's mouth, Wizards of the Coast is very clearly gender swapping this character for no other reason other than modern day identity politics. We talk about this all the time, and they are going to continue to do stuff like this because this is what they're good at now. They're not good at trying to make the game any better. God knows they got into so much trouble with the licensing change they tried to do. So it very clearly is a gender swap, and now you guys can be super excited if you're Wizards of the Coast characters, where you can play as this miniature that is like 300 pounds of muscle that happens to have a little bit of flap called boobs on the chest. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you did enjoy it. If you did, consider leaving me a subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Don't forget to like the video, comment, let me know what you thought, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Hypnotic out.